Hi. Hola.
Hi, here's Mr. Dozy.
This is Michael Bradley.
Hey, I'm Memphis.
Hey.
Hola. Hello.
I'm here with soccer.com.
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 And I'm talking with my friends soccer.com.
See you soon.
Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the Nike Hypervenom Phantom 2 in the Academy Pack Blackout colorway. Now inside the box they do include a string bag to go along with the shoes themselves. The string bag is black in color with black strings. You're going to find a Volt Yellow Nike swoosh on one side and Volt Yellow Nike football branding on the other. Other than that, all you're going to find inside the box, as you guys can see, are the shoes themselves. So we'll get these guys out of the box really quickly, and we'll take a closer look at what is a pretty tricky pair of shoes to get your hands on, the Academy Pack Hypervenom Phantom 2. Now, the Academy Pack shoes, or the Academy Pack, which consisted of the entire Nike lineup, the top-end models fully blacked out like you see here, that initially came out quite a while ago. I want to say about a year and a half, a year and a quarter, something like that. And then when the Hypervenom Phantom 2 came out, about a couple months after the release, they re-released the Academy Pack in limited quantities, including all the ones that previously released initially, but they added in the Phantom 2 and the Finish. And then just recently, I want to say 2 weeks ago now, they re-released the Academy Pack again including the Phantom 2 and the Finish, as well as the Nike Tiempo Legend 6. So that's the first Blackout Academy Pack Legend 6 that we've had. Unfortunately, all of these shoes were very limited and sold out pretty much immediately. So if you're looking to get a pair of these for yourself, unfortunately, they aren't available at any online store that I know of. You can try your chances on eBay. Just be careful because there are a lot of counterfeits on there, and you just want to make sure that you're going to be spending your hard-earned money on a pair of authentic shoes. The retail price, for those that are wondering, is $275, just like a regular pair of Phantom 2. So in today's video, we are of course going to take a closer look at the shoes themselves, the colorway, the way they fit and feel on feet. We're going to go over the tech specs, take a look at the weight of the shoe. Again, cover everything you need to know about the Phantom 2. If you guys are interested in a pair, check out the review page on my website. That'll be the very first link down below in the description of this video. On that page, you'll find buy it now links, not for this specific colorway, but all the other colorways of the Phantom 2. So again, if you're interested in a pair, first link down below, go ahead and check it out. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. To start things off, let's take a closer look at the colorway. Now, obviously, the Academy Pack, it's all about being pretty much fully blacked out, and that's exactly what you're getting here in the Phantom 2. It's basically matte black on gloss black. That's kind of how they were able to show the outline of the Nike swoosh, and of course the pattern here going down the sides of the shoe. So the entire upper is a matte black, and then you do have the gloss black for the little accents, which is kind of cool. Laces, as well as the Flyknit, is solid black in color. There's no mid layer that changes when you actually stretch it out. It's just, like I said, solid black. So again, it has all the same Hypervenom details. They're just a little bit more hidden on this particular colorway because, like I said, it's black on black. Sole plate fully blacked out as well, and then of course you do have the translucent studs. The only pop of color you're going to find on this shoe is the insole, which is Volt Yellow in color. We'll get a closer look at that a little bit later in the video, but basically from what you can see, these are fully blacked out Hypervenoms, which I think looks really, really good. Everyone kind of has their own personal preferences when it comes to colorways. I'm a really big fan of black, especially when they do full blackouts. I know a lot of people are as well. That's why this pack has kind of sold out every single time that it's been released. But let me know your opinions on it down below in the comment section. Do you like how these look? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to the tech specs so we can learn a little bit more about the overall performance. As far as actual performance is concerned, the Phantom 2 is very, very good. With that being said, the way that the shoe fits and feels on feet is something that some people love and some people absolutely hate. It really depends on what your personal preferences are. Now, of course, in this video, we're going to go over all the tech specs that you should know, and I'm going to describe how the shoe feels in general. But if you guys are looking for more information, be sure to check out my playtest video that I have up on my channel. I'll leave an annotation on screen. You can go ahead and see these shoes in action if you haven't already. Now, the main reason why this shoe is so controversial when it comes to whether you love it or hate it really has to do with the upper. The upper is made from what Nike calls Nike skin, and as you guys can see by the side profile of the synthetic, it's very, very thin. Not quite as thin as what you're going to find from the Tajin synthetic upper on the Vapor 10, but still very thin and offers no extra padding on the ball. It has a very pingy sensation, a very kind of barefoot sensation, if you will. What a lot of people either really like or dislike about this material is that it's on the firmer side. So what's positive about that is, one, it provides a very responsive sensation. So you have the Nike Skin upper in combination with the Flywire cables that run from the base of the sole into the lacing system on both sides of the shoe. So when you slide these on and pull the laces tight, your foot is very, very secure, locked in place. And really, I think this is the most responsive shoe on the market in terms of just having the shoe having that one-to-one sensation, really strapped very closely to your foot, and there's no movement in the upper. Like I said, it's very, very strong. The other positive of this is that it gives you a surprisingly kind of structured sensation given how thin the upper is. Normally shoes, when the upper is so thin, they can feel a little bit flimsy, and you just don't get that sensation from this shoe. They feel, like I said, very structured and very solid on your feet. The negative aspect of this upper, and that's something I don't want to say negative for everybody, because again, this is kind of where personal preference plays a big role, is that it's very firm against your foot. It doesn't have a soft, quote-unquote comfortable sensation. That's not to say that these are uncomfortable, but if you're comparing it to something like a leather shoe that is going to have that soft cushion sensation, this just doesn't have it. It has that firm feel. Yes, the upper will get a little bit more flexible over time, but it will never feel soft on your foot, which is kind of unusual, and a lot of people like to compare this shoe to the original Hypervenom Phantom, rightfully so, of course, but this is really nothing like the original Phantom, which, again, part of the reason why some people love it and some people hate it. So just keep that in mind if you're planning on picking them up. They're very thin, they're very responsive, they're very structured on your feet, but they really don't offer any kind of softness or any kind of, I guess, more of a just soft feel in general on your feet. It is a more rigid shoe in terms of how it fits and feels on your foot. The texturing on the surface of the upper, there's a little bit of it. You can see it has all these little embossed lines there as well that don't really have an impact on touch, but perhaps do have some minor impact on the flexibility of the upper. No real extra grip here, but they do include Nike's ACC All Conditions Control, which you'll find on pretty much all their top-end models. Laces are off-centered, as you guys can see. You do have a fly knit tongue that is basically stitched in on either side or fused in on either side. It's elasticated, same thing goes for the collar. Basically the difference between the Phantom 2 and the Finish when it comes to actual performance is nothing. The main difference is the collar implementation. If you want the collar, go for the Phantom 2. If you want something that has a more traditional fit in the heel, one that I would argue is perhaps a little bit more comfortable out of the box, the Finish is the way to go. But again, if you want that mid-cut design, you definitely can go for the Phantom. This is the same mid-cut design you're going to find on the Superfly as well as the Obra. Really no structure here. It's just there, one, for looks, and two, to give you a slightly different fit in the heel area. But there are some complications with how these fit in the heel, something I'll talk about more a little bit later during the on-feet portion of the video. Inside, there is a synthetic leather heel liner with a decent amount of padding. Insole, fully removable. It features a mesh liner on top and is made from a single layer of ortholite foam. Actually a pretty good insole as far as underfoot cushioning is concerned. And then moving on to the sole plate, you're going to find a glass nylon sole plate that is thin but has some good rigidity to it overall. Good flexibility, especially after some wear time. May feel a little bit stiff at first, but nothing too big as far as problems go. And then in terms of the stud pattern, it's the same thing we got with the original Hypervenom. They've maintained it on the second generation. All conical studs, as you guys can see, a little bladed stud right at the tip of the toe, and then one reinforcement stud right there in the middle. It's basically what you get from the Mercurials in terms of the overall layout, but instead of bladed studs, they're conical in shape. So not quite as aggressive in terms of overall bite, but they still bite and dig in pretty well, providing really good traction, but because they are rounded, you have that freedom to twist and pivot as well. Really big fan of the Hypervenom stud pattern, and on firm natural grass, I really haven't heard too many people complain about it. So ultimately, this is a very good performer. It just depends on what type of feel that you're looking for from your soccer shoes. That's really going to determine whether or not this is a shoe that you're going to love or a shoe that you're going to hate. Again, you kind of have to decide that for yourself. In terms of weight, the Phantom 2 is pretty light, so I'm gonna weigh this pair for you today in real time using this scale, just so we can see exactly how much they weigh. Keep in mind, this is a brand new pair in a size 9 US. We're going to throw them on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 7.6 ounces, the equivalent of 215 grams. So if you're comparing this to other top-end models from Nike, most notably the other mid-cut shoes, the Superfly and the Obra, these are about half an ounce more in terms of overall weight, which is honestly not a lot. There's not a major difference that you're actually going to notice when the shoes are on your feet. If you do want something lighter though, the Hypervenom finish is technically the same upper with a slightly different fit, and due to the slightly different design in the heel, it does shave a little bit of weight, so the finish is slightly lighter than the Phantom 2, and then of course you have the Vapor 10 as an option as well. Even the Magista Opus is a little bit lighter than this, so technically all the low-cut high-end models from Nike are lighter than the mid-cut models, but again, it really depends on what type of feel that you're looking for. And again, if you're looking for something that is relatively lightweight, you shouldn't have any issues with these at all. All right, so here is a look at the Academy Pack Phantom 2s on feet. On my left foot, I have the stock black laces that come with the shoes, and on my right foot, I have a pair of Caution SR4U replacement laces. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. Find a direct link to that website down below in the description of this video. Now, in terms of how these things fit and feel on feet, it has a tighter fit overall, and like I mentioned, this is a synthetic upper that's very thin, but has a firm sensation to it. There's really no element of softness to this upper, so it fits very tightly, and like I said, it just kind of has that solid, firm feel against your foot. There's really no other way to describe it. So if you're looking for something that you could say is really soft and really comfortable, this isn't necessarily it. And that's not to say that these are uncomfortable. They just don't have the feel that you might expect, especially if you're coming from the original Phantom. These are entirely different. So again, it really depends on what you're looking for and what your personal preferences are. In terms of whether or not you're going to like the Phantom 2 or not. As far as the overall fit of the shoe is concerned, given that this is a mid-cut model from Nike, the fit in the heel is a little bit strange. They'll feel a little bit stiff at first, so it really does take some getting used to. What I recommend is just breaking them in very slowly. Don't wear these straight into a game. Don't wear them straight into a free kick session. Do some light training. Really light movements, and then as you start to feel more and more comfortable, you can get into more intense movements and eventually wear them for 2-3 hours at a time without any issues. Again, just take your time with getting used to them, and you shouldn't have problems with blistering or general discomfort. As far as the overall fit is concerned, it's a tighter fitting shoe, and given the circumstances of this upper, being that it is a firmer material, and you do have the Flywire cables, it is not going to stretch. The way these fit from right out of the box is the way they're going to fit for their entire lifespan. So if they don't feel right from the get-go, that shape of the shoe really isn't going to change. So if you have wide feet, probably not the best option for you. And as far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit and the length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend going true to size in order to achieve the best possible fit. All right, guys, that is it for my review of the Academy Pack Nike Hypervenom Phantom 2. Again, if you guys are interested in more info, be sure to check out the review page on my website. That'll be the very first link down below in the description of this video. On that page, you'll find the high quality images of this exact pair that I took myself. That'll give you a better idea as to how these actually do look in person. And you will, of course, find buy it now links for the Phantom 2 in pretty much all the colorways except this one, as these are sold out, where you'll be able to find those buy it now links with SR4U coupon codes and be able to pick these up below their normal $275 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair of Phantom 2s, first link down below, go ahead and check it out. If you have any questions at all regarding the Phantom 2, leave them down below in the comments and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information linked in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, thanks for watching.